Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Roar. The others cheered. After taking a round off of fighting, Steward Zhuo was back in action. Hump, cocky brat of heaven trailing sect, your days are numbered. Meanwhile, Run Song and the other three looked smug about their success. Elder Qi, the kid isn't much after all. You went to attack, yet he just stood still like a moron. Song Shan and Song Lin attacked those disciples, and he still didn't help. Our fears were unfounded. The four came to the demon scheming sect to warn them and test the waters. They hadn't seen Zhuo Fan fight and came to probe him. A shame their testing not only ended up fruitless, but even managed to yank the enemy's chain into biting them back harder. They failed because of their stupidity. But the biggest irony was they were oblivious of it. But they say that Zhuo Fan obliterated beast-taming sect's disciples with one fist, even the elder. It can't be that he could not even react to my palm attack. Elder Qi found it suspicious. Run Song saw it too but waved off his suspicions. No need to think too hard about him, Elder Qi. Zhuo Fan is only at the 3rd layer radiant stage. How strong can he be? The rumors must be exaggerated. Why else would he suddenly sit out when every sect was there to see him? I bet he was scaring the middle 3 sects' disciples into surrendering when it came to fighting him. Only petty people resort to petty tricks. As for beast-taming sect's elder's death, Exalted Double Dragons already announced he broke the rules for attacking the guests and was executed by Exalted Heiran. It had nothing to do with that punk. I bet it's just another rumor he instigated to scare others. But not me, yours truly won't fall for it. Elder Qi regarded Ren Song and nodded in the end. Young master is wise. I must have gotten too old to fall for a kid's trick. The new is replacing the old. Ren Song was extra full of himself, looking at the two youths, Song Shan, Song Lin, in tomorrow's fights. If the others bought it, make sure you kill Zhuo Fan at once to break their spirit and show everyone what a liar he is. Leave the rest for after, alright? Understood, young master. The two nodded. Run Song's smile grew wider. Tomorrow, everyone would see how they fell for the kid's inflated lies. Only I, Run Song, from Heaven Trailing Sect, saw the truth. Since strength can't beat him, I'll use intelligence. On the morning of the 2nd day, the arena was packed. Even though it was the middle 3 sects challenge stage, the superior 3 sects also showed up. Only this time, they were curious about 2 people. One was the darkest horse of all times, hailing from demon scheming sect, Zhuo Fan. The other was one who they paid even more attention to since not just him but his entire sect was the strongest among the middle 3 sects, Gentle Sword Wen Tao from Sword God sect. The ever-dauntless superior 3 sects for thousands of years are now stirred. But the one to climb isn't demon scheming sect, but Sword God sect. I wonder who is going to take the fall. Wu Qingqiu chuckled, watching the flood of people coming in. Yan Mo was there too, what's the point in asking? The most likely sect to drop is the Universal Righteous sect. That's what it gets for always being last. Are you so sure it's going to be last this time too? Wu Qingqiu raised an eyebrow. Yan Mo nodded without delay, of course, it has always been like this. The number 1 spot among the superior 3 sects was always fought between us 2 sects, while the Universal Righteous sect was just the wheel. I don't mind if they were last, or even if we are last. I just hope that guy gets to fight with me already. That's all I wanted. One can never find peace unless he fights one's destined rival. Yi Lin was bored to death, looking for his target from the audience. Yan Mo asked, "Hey, I feel like sparring with you." You? Yi Lin mocked, "No point, now shoo." You? Yan Mo choked, and Wu Qingqiu laughed. Whoosh. The judge once more made his appearance on stage, bowing before the empty air. Welcome, Exalted. Welcome, Exalted. The rest of the people bowed as well. Exalted Double Dragons appeared in their seats of honor and gestured for them to be seated. Exalted Heiran spoke, "Begin." Middle 3 sects and lower 3 sects, enter the arena. The judge shouted. Sword God sect, Demon Soul sect, and Heaven Trailing sect walked into view. After them came Mystical Heaven sect and Demon Scheming sect. Seeing Zhuo Fan in his team's lead, he did not look like he would be sitting back this time. The people lit up, knowing he would be fighting. Yan Mo, Wu Qingxiu, and the others were excited as well. Wu Qingxiu really wanted to know what this kid could do to earn his freaky junior brother's high evaluation. When Tao grinned at Zhuo Fan, filled with fighting spirit, Zhuo Fan, your reputation precedes you. We'll finally get a glimpse at your skills. I wonder if you'll live up to your name. Fight me, and you'll see. Zhuo Fan rolled his eyes. When Tao paused, then nodded, I'll be waiting. Han Yunfeng stared at Zhuo Fan, then finally said, Well met, Zhuo Fan, I am Demon Soul sect's eldest young moss. Big young Han. Zhuo Fan cut him off, earning a few snickers from Demon Scheming sect and Demon Soul sect. Han Yunfeng coughed and said, I am Han Yunfeng. Because of my father's harsh teachings, he only gave us 3 brothers' names after age 5, depending on our strength. Only the strongest earned his name, while the rest didn't have one. That is why only I have one. They are the second son and third son. Oh, your dad sure is cruel. That's a demonic sect leader for you. Zhuo Fan nodded, then a question nagged at him. If the sect leader is cruel to such a degree, does he not feel any love for his sons? Ugh. The demonic path is filled with mysteries. Han Yunfeng said, I planned to fight you in the Double Dragon Gathering, but I reconsidered. It's unwise to do something you already know you'll fail. So despite some regrets, if you want to challenge us, Demon Soul sect will have to refuse your invitation. Zhuo Fan's brow shook, giving him another look of admiration. The kid knows when to call it quits, like a true man of ambition does. And he is a sect leader's son too. Quite unlike a certain someone. Zhuo Fan's eyes drifted to Ran Song, who had a constant sneer on his face. Fool, he has you believing a lie. You're still falling for his bluff? Zhuo Fan shook his head, scratched his nose, and gave him a moment of silence in tribute. Exalted double dragons saw Zhuo Fan on the scene and were startled. They shared a glance and nodded. They were under the impression Zhuo Fan was too strong this early in the competition, but after watching the middle 3 sect stage, they realized the disciples this time were anything but weak. Without Zhuo Fan's help, Demon Scheming sect would have nothing to fight with today, effectively going against their fair judging of the sect's potential. Therefore, they allowed Zhuo Fan to fight. Zhuo Fan glanced up and noticed their faint nod, knowing he was free to let loose. He was on a roll. In the lower 3 sects singles, the Mystical Heaven sect won. In the team matches, the Demon Scheming sect won. By the Double Dragon Gatherings rules, Mystical Heaven sect can take the initiative to challenge another sect only in the single matches, while Demon Scheming sect can only challenge other sects in the team battles. Sects, who will you challenge? The judge turned to the teams. Elder Yun bowed, my Mystical Heaven sect has always been under the Heaven Trailing sect's guidance. And while we had the fortune to take first place in this time's lower 3 sect stage, we only wish to hold our position and not offend any middle 3 sect. Mystical Heaven sect refuses to make a challenge. Bootlicker. Everyone there felt like retching at this slick old man's words. He's kissing ass at his age? Has he no shame? What Heaven Trailing sect guiding you? You're just its dog. The girls blushed in shame under the contempt of the crowd. They looked at Elder Yun filled with resentment. We're still a sect. So why must we sell our dignity and become someone else's lapdog? Only Ren Song felt like he got even more full of himself, nodding like it was natural. Zhuo Fan found Elder Yun's action admirable. He has no damn ounce of shame, just like me back in the day. Since he turned the loss into a win, Zhuo Fan had noticed Elder Yun's patience and scheming mind. Playing the innocent while the play was in disfavor, then striking when the moment was right. He might look like he was ingratiating and shaming himself, but he was, in fact, the Heaven Trailing sect's most dangerous servant. When the master lost its focus on this dog, the dog would definitely go for the master's throat. That's the definition of flexible. The judge turned to demon scheming sect. Zhuo Fan stepped out before Fiend Yang could speak, fight, of course. While the mystical heaven sect could only submit, the demon scheming sect had gone beyond this level, ready to kick these rampant middle sects off their throne and take the crown for ruling Tianyu's 3 guardian sects for itself. Zhuo Fan's determined voice echoed in the ears of everyone in the arena, filling them with excitement and expectations. Especially the nation's representatives. The 9 sects in the western lands had been stuck in their respective rankings for thousands of years. It all became foggy. When exactly was the last time an underdog tried punching above its status? Now, they were witnessing history in the making. Everyone was thrilled and eager for a good show. The teams from every sect had known this was coming and were watching in anticipation. Only Ren Song's face fell, glaring at Zhuo Fan like he was an abomination on this earth. A tiny demon scheming sect like you dares to challenge your superiors? Humph, you're going to pay for it. Mark my words. Turning to Song Shan and Song Lin, Ren Song nodded and gave them the signal. In all honesty, they were shaken by the demon scheming sex team for a good reason. With 6 in the ethereal stage, their side only had himself and the twins. In other words, besides him, in the 2nd layer ethereal stage, and the brothers, in the 3rd layer ethereal stage, the other 7 disciples in the radiant stage could hardly pose a challenge. They were the only 3 who could put up a fight and score a win. So why was it that even though Demon Soul Sect had only Han Yunfeng and the 2nd Young Master Han as their sole 2 ethereal stage experts, they were still above them in rank? It was their overall strength that made all the difference. The hope of keeping their name rested entirely on Song Shan and Song Lin dealing with 6 ethereal stage experts. As such, striking first and hard to cripple the enemy's morale was a tested tactic through the ages. The Song brothers' eyes flickered coldly, fixing Zhuo Fan in their sights. Zhuo Fan raised an eyebrow. His thoughts were mocking them. It's obvious that their target is me. He shook his head and sighed. Ignorance sure is bliss. Since the demon scheming sect has decided to challenge, please enter the Sumeru dimension. First will be lower 3 sect demon scheming sect versus middle 3 sect heaven trailing sect in a team battle. The judge shouted at the crowd. Then, 2 familiar figures appeared on the stage. They were none other than the elders posing as gatekeepers of Double Dragon Manor. Their hands worked through the gestures quickly, and with a bang, they shot their hands forth. The space in front rippled like a curtain about to be lifted. As the ripples took form, the 2 elders grabbed what looked like seams and pulled with all their strength until the veins on their arms bulged outward. Creak. The space was split apart with a heavy sound to reveal a new world. The view presented a magnificent valley with a tall and imposing mountain behind it, covered in a lush and beautiful forest. This world's limits were so vast that one could not even see the edges. Such a considerable expanse could easily accommodate a battle against armies in the hundreds of thousands, not just a measly 20 people. Turning back to the audience, the judge said, the disciples of the 2 sects are to enter. You are free to fight to your heart's content. Zhuo Fan nodded and was the first to walk forward, but someone gave a taunting snort just before he entered the barrier. What a grand world. I bet this will be your first time seeing it since you've never had a team battle. But don't even think about hiding in this vast world. We've been here so many times. We know it better than you. Run Song snickered at Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan mocked, you took the words right out of my mouth. Not like if you hide, it will change anything. It will just be taking a little more time. Come to think of it. I can't remember the last time I played cat and mouse. I should relish the moment. We'll see who plays with who here. Ren Song just had to have the last word. But those who knew Zhuo Fan's real strength looked at him like he was an idiot. I say, I don't think I've ever seen anyone so quick and excited to die. Life must be tough for him.